Hello, my name is Shannon Mon from Startup Bootcamp Australia with the Sports and EventTech team. Today, I'm here talking with Carsten from Aphetor. I'll turn it over to him to explain what they're all about.
Yeah, so Aphetor is a new generation of sports entertainment property for a new generation of fan. I guess the simplest way to think about us is the Olympics for creators, where the creators are competing, not only competing, but also creating the content, publishing the content on their channels, and engaging their fan community around challenges, competition, collaboration, and really inspiring them to push their boundaries.
Great. Can you tell me about the current state of the content creation industry as it relates to sports?
Yeah, I think traditional sports in trouble because of its historical content model. Since the 50s, the whole industry has really been built around exclusive media deals where the big media companies pay a lot of money to the sports rights holders to have the right to exclusively create all the content and distribute all the content on their channels. The problem is it's the wrong content on the wrong channels for this new born digital generation whose media consumption patterns have changed so fundamentally, whose expectations driven by gaming around how they are able to participate has changed fundamentally. So I don't know how we're going to get out of this dilemma, because the younger audience is not going to change their media consumption patterns once they hit 35 or something. And at the same time, the traditional sports rights holders are so addicted and so dependent on the revenue model from these exclusive media deals that I don't see them having any incentive to move away from that.
With those issues, what solutions do you have to offer problems in the content industry as it relates to sports?
So at Aphetor, we flip the model and we start with the audience and what their media consumption patterns are. And we sort of bake into the DNA a content model that's going to deliver against those behaviors and expectations. And so if you look at this audience, their media consumption patterns are really driven by content creators. So whether you're into football or golf or weightlifting or yoga or food or fashion or travel or whatever it might be, there are these brilliant content creators who are really the center of gravity for these communities around those passion points. And so what we do at Aphetor is we put our content in their hands. So they're not only our competitors, but they are the ones telling the story and bringing the audience along for the ride. Why this is so powerful, of course, is because we can aggregate the audience of all these participating creators to reach a huge number of people very, very quickly. And we know we're getting the right content on the right channels to engage them. And so our challenge becomes to give them a platform to create their best ever content. They're competing, which is always the best non-scripted content because of the unknown outcome and the sort of human stories that get surfaced. But they're in amazing locations doing epic experiences, surrounded by other creators. And of course, we help them level up their content because we got drones and they're mic'd up and all that kind of stuff. So really, if we're doing our job and giving them the opportunity to create their best ever content, which they're publishing on these already engaged channels, it's a pretty efficient model.
That's super exciting. And what is the main goal that you hope to accomplish through the Startup Bootcamp Accelerator program?
Yeah, we're really excited to be part of the program. It actually comes at a great time for us. We sort of finished phase one of Aphetor. We were funded before the pandemic, so sort of navigated those choppy waters and had a couple of pilots. But now we're really looking at how we scale it. And there are a couple of key things that we need to get right as we start phase two, including really getting to the bottom of our Web3 strategy, how we're going to be using NFTs and tokens to incentivize the participants in the community to drive more value into the community. We also need to really sharpen up our sort of event model and event formats. And we're really looking forward to working with some of the other rights holders to get a better understanding of how we sort of operationalize a more scalable event program. And then thirdly, we need to get better at commercializing our content through partnerships and other formats. And I think being more scientific in terms of CPMs and understanding how we can value reach and performance of content will help us to monetize much quicker. So I guess those are the three things that we're really looking forward to sharpening up as we get ready for phase two of what we hope will soon be a great growth story and great brand building story.
Awesome. Those are great goals. And then for one last fun question, I was wondering, who is your sporting hero?
I'm not actually sure I'm allowed to say this anymore, because I grew up in Germany in the 80s, and so my sporting hero was Boris Becker. But the problem is now he's kind of my neighbor in London in Wandsworth Prison. So I'm not sure that I'm allowed to say him anymore. But that is the truth. I played tennis, and when you're growing up in Germany playing tennis in the 80s, there was no one more inspiring than him.
Awesome. Great. All great answers. Thank you so much. We are so excited to see the progression of Aphetor through this process and beyond.
No worries. I look forward to seeing all you guys.